You are a champion.
Daddy, it's tomorrow Saturday. It's tomorrow Saturday.
Because she
All
wanted
the
to
time.
spend the day with you,
It's the
right?
only day we saw each other.
I was a stressed out corporate slave. I never saw my family, John. John, he said take it! He said take it!
Hey, it's Sam Crowley. Welcome back to the Sam Crowley Show, our weekly internet television show designed for you, the dreamer, the entrepreneur, somebody who wants to take massive action in your life and squeeze that last bit of toothpaste out of the tube of life, right? Wow, what a weekend it was this past weekend. As I mentioned in the last video, I went down and visited my father, who I haven't seen in 40 years. I'll be 44 next month, so pretty much my whole life. Got really no memories of the guys I mentioned before. By the way, if you haven't seen the video, it's on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Just click the subscribe button right above me right here if you're watching this video on YouTube. If you're not a fan of our Facebook page, just go to Facebook.com/everydayissaturday. I actually put the interview with my dad. I interviewed him. We just sat on a park bench. I didn't interview him. We just chatted, father-son chat on a park bench on a beautiful day in Maryland. So check it out. Go to Facebook.com/everydayissaturday. And make sure you just stay connected. I'm gonna share with you today just my raw, unfiltered, how about that? Sam Crowley letting it rip, right? No teleprompter, no outline to go from, but I just want to share with you because, wow, my inbox is flooded and has been for the past week. All of you, thank you so much. I've got the greatest fans and email and the podcast subscribers. However we are connected, you guys rock. You've just been so incredibly supportive. You're plugged into the message, which is great. And you're following along and hopefully learning, and giving me advice. I think that's fantastic. So I really appreciate it. I've read all your emails. I've seen all the posts on Facebook, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of responses on Facebook. Thank you. All right. Just thanks so much. I appreciate that. So what happened? Well, I went to Annapolis, Maryland this past weekend via Hershey, PA, to visit my good friend Mike, who him and I have been friends since childhood. He's the best man at my wedding. I was in his wedding. We're godparents of each other's children. I mean, it's just that friend you have that I think that's a great life lesson as well. Mike and I could go 2 years and not talk and pick up right where we left off. Nothing else going on in the periphery, just good friends. So went to Hershey, stayed with him and his family, played around the golf Friday. It was great. Went out, probably a little too late Friday night, but that's what happens when good friends get together, right? And so I drove down to Annapolis, Maryland from Hershey, Pennsylvania, about a 2-hour drive, Saturday morning. Beautiful day for a drive. You know what I didn't realize is the Preakness was going on, which is right outside Baltimore. So I was in Annapolis. It hit a little bit of traffic, but I was undeterred. Was I nervous? A lot of you asked, what were your feelings? Were you anxiety-ridden? No. I mean, yeah, I was anxious, but you got to understand. I mean, I had low expectations. I haven't seen my dad's for 40-some years. And, I wasn't expecting it wasn't like this Oprah moment, okay, is what I'm getting at. It wasn't like, go, with music playing. It was like, hey, my dad, I get a chance to see him. And if you watch the video that I posted on my fan page on Facebook, you'll see that, we were who we were, and I think that it was neat for me to be able to meet him. He's 83 years old. Like I mentioned last week, my mom raised 8 of us by herself. So my mom's the one that really, right, wrong, or indifferent, that's where I get it all from. I get the, the quick wit, the great sense of humor, pretty sharp individual. All of that comes from my mom. But it was neat to be able to see my dad because I saw some mannerisms of mine in him as well. But I was shaped, molded, and, sent out into the world by my mom, and I'm eternally grateful to her for everything that she did, and I think that's a lesson, for you to understand as well, is that you can't use, at least I would never use, because people are like, oh, Sam, I understand, without a father, they do this, do that. Yeah, I don't really buy into that. Would my life have been different had I had a dad full time in my life? Well, of course it would have been different. Would it have been better is the question. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good, for myself right now. Because here's what I understand. There's 1 billion people that slept on a dirt floor last night somewhere in the world. Do they have it worse than I ever had it in my entire life? Absolutely they do. 80% of the world has never made a cell phone call. Okay, you have to understand, we live a lot of the times in these silos, in these cocoons, and we think, oh, I've got a stiff back, or I can't raise my arm, or I've got a cough, or the money in my bank account isn't where, it is or should be or was, or my business isn't doing well. Yeah, compared to what, though? Compared to who? Compared to people in Haiti who went through an earthquake and still don't have the home they grew up in? Look, my life was just fine, as I mentioned in the video last week. I didn't grow up in a mansion, but I grew up with more than what I ever needed and could have, more than I deserved, okay? So everything is A-okay in my life. And more importantly, nobody wants to hear about the problems. You know, oh, I grew up without a father. Well, okay, do you think anybody else can top that one? I mean, that's not that unusual in the world. But I didn't even go to make amends. I just went to meet my dad. Because here's the thing, I've got a parent who's still alive that I don't remember ever having any relationship with. So I thought it'd be a good idea to go meet him. That was really it, you know, and to catch up. Yeah, I had some questions. It wasn't like I was interrogating him. Like I mentioned in the video last week, I wasn't going down to say, where were you? Why didn't you go to my baseball games when I was a little kid? It was more like, hey, tell me about the 50s, the 60s, you know, before I was born. What was things like in the family? You know, what'd you do? Where'd you work? You know, where did we live? You know, I don't know. You have to understand, I was born in 1968. My mom and dad got married, my dad was 22, so they probably got married in 51, you know, in the spring of 51. So you gotta understand, that's a 17-year gap between when they got married and, you know, when I was born. I wanted to kind of fill that in and just kind of take me through that process. And so, where'd you and my mom meet and all that stuff. So it was great. All these questions I would have asked as a kid, like, you know, you've asked your parents, how'd you meet? You know, where'd you go? Where did we live? Those are questions. It wasn't anything like, why were you around? Because what's he going to do? 83 years old, what's he going to answer? I mean, who could possibly answer that question? You know, I didn't need to know that because I don't blame him for any of my flaws or deficiencies that I may have in my life, which are many, okay? But those are things that people don't want to hear about because there's always somebody out there that's got it worse than you do. So I think after the weekend, we said goodbye. We shot a quick video. We hung out for a few hours. He was tired. You know, somebody's 83 years old, needs his afternoon nap, okay? But we drove around the town of Annapolis, Maryland, which is just a beautiful town. I'd never been there in my life. So he took me for a little tour after we went and grabbed a cup of coffee and hung out and chatted for a while. Then we sat on a park bench. We shot that video I told you about. We just chatted, you know? He asked about my kids. He asked about the family, my brothers and sisters, people like that. It was just very normal. Very normal. I mean, it was really like incredibly normal if you had never seen somebody for 40 years. It was like it's not like we just met each other the day before, you know, and had nothing to talk about. It was kind of like we were father and son, you know. It was pretty cool. So as I was driving back, I wasn't flooded with these emotions. I just felt you know what I felt? Like a sense of peace. Like, okay, I met the guy, you know. Am I going to go see him again next weekend and all? No, the dynamics, the geographical location, it just doesn't work that way, okay? I've got my own life here, a business, my family, my own kids that I got to stick around a little bit and be with, you know? But I feel good that he's 83, so he's got more of his life already lived than he's got to live, so that tells you, you know, you should probably reach out to individuals. Whatever you got to do. I'm not here to say you got to go, you know, make amends with people. And I'm just saying, here's the deal, okay? If you feel like you got to go do something, you just got to go do it, all right? You don't take advice from other people and have them live your life for you. A lot of people gave me advice, okay? I'm just doing what I do. They're like, hey, what's this whole bucket list thing here? You know, that's only what you're supposed to do if you're going to die. You know what? I'm doing what I want to do. All right, I went to the Hall of Fame, the Kentucky Derby, met my dad. I'm going to start knocking more things off my list. I'm not having a midlife crisis. I'm just saying, hey, well, you know what? Maybe I am. Maybe I am having a midlife crisis. I don't know. Stay tuned. Maybe I might break down on video in front of the world. Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be probably a great product. Watch Sam have a midlife crisis, full-blown nervous breakdown on camera. Look, you got to do what you want to do. You know, I used to take advice from a lot of people when I had a job, and it turned out these people were more stressed out, had more personal issues, financial issues. I mean, these people were more whacked out than I was, and these are the ones giving me the advice. So the advice I'm giving you is simply go with your heart. Man, do something crazy this week that other people look at you. Now, legal, okay? Don't do anything illegal or anything. I'm just saying, if you want to go, you know, meet somebody or, re-engage with someone, or you want to go start a business, or you want to, you know, go on an airplane someplace and see look, without putting your family in jeopardy and without doing anything nutty, just go do it. You know, I'm telling you, that trip to Annapolis was really good for me. You know, it was really good. I had a great time, but I left it there because life goes on. You know, there's still bills to pay. There's still products to sell. Hint, hint. There's still things to do. You know, so life's got to go on, a family to raise. But in the meantime, fill in the holes, you know, have a good time with your life. Life should not be so freaking serious that, you know, you get caught up. See, most people just get so caught up in conforming. They want to just live, what am I supposed to do? What? You're supposed to do what you want to do. I mean, come on, you live in the greatest country, at least if you live where I live in the United States of America. And most of the world, if you're watching this video, I know we have fans all over the world. Trust me, I get that. You don't have it as good as we do, some in the United States, okay? However, you got it better than most. And I think that's the point today, you know, in today's video is you got it better than most. I have it so better. I've got great health. I've got great family. I've got a great business. You know, I've got incredible friends. I talked about growing up in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Look, let me tell you, had it not been the friends that I had in Bradford, PA, I wouldn't be. I know they had the biggest influence on me. And that's a great lesson, is that, you know, the people that you surround yourself with, that is what really truly shapes you and molds you. And I had friends that weren't on drugs. They had a bit of alcohol. Sure, who didn't drink in high school, go to a party here or there? We were normal, man. We had a great time. It really was like a little slice of Norman Rockwell. And I'm eternally grateful for the friends that I grew up with in Bradford. And look, that has given me probably the greatest lesson in life, is keeping good acquaintances all throughout my life. And people who have high expectation levels, you know, and they're not going to let you go down here. So anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been so incredibly supportive on this whole bucket list kick. And I'm sure, you know, these messages and these videos have helped you a little bit. And I appreciate that. You know, this is why I do what I do. This is why I throw myself out there and say, here's Sam, you know, so you can take a little bit of that and maybe do something with it, you know. But I really do believe the one piece of advice is go do what it is you want to do. Don't ask permission. Don't wait for somebody else's blessing, okay? The worst thing you could possibly do in life is to try to impress other people. It's a #1 recipe for failure. So here I am. Now we're gonna go off and do a little bit of business this week, and that's a video for another day. If you're on my email list, you'll find out all about that stuff. But today, I just want to say thank you so much for following me on this little bucket list journey, for taking you with me to Maryland to meet my dad via the video. And I'm just thinking it's really cool that we have this little sense of community helping each other out through the Everyday is Saturday message. So with that being said, go do something today, this week, this month that just, you know, do something a little wacky, legal, but something that fills a void in your life, all right? Because you shouldn't go to your grave having any voids if you can at all possibly fill them, all right? My name's Sam Crowley, founder of EverydayIsSaturday.com. Have the best day ever.
You are a champion.
Daddy, it's tomorrow Saturday. It's tomorrow Saturday.
Because she
All
wanted
the
to
time.
spend the day with you,
It's the only
right?
day we saw each other.
I was a stressed out corporate slave. I never saw my family, John. John, it's taking.